Yo, what's good, everyone? What's good? Welcome back to the next block, episode 114. How you doing, Crypto for Change?
I'm doing pretty good, doing pretty good. Waiting to see how the markets are gonna react coming up in the next few weeks. I feel like we're gonna see some interesting moves for Bitcoin, possibly, especially with where it's been heading. Where I feel like some of the price action we've seen with it, as well as the Ethereum. They just had the ETFs launch yesterday, or Tuesday, I think, and the first day inflows were nothing like Bitcoin, but still a really good amount, I think, for Ethereum. And so there was a lot of positive, hype around that. But
Mhm.
needless to say, I think the charts are definitely showing that there is a chance that we're about to see some decent upward momentum. Hopefully, Bitcoin breaking out of the like 3 month, 4 month long range it's pretty much been in, just kind of bouncing around the tops. I think Ethereum is also looking like it could break upwards. But we'll have to see. Let's take a look at the coin market cap and look at some of these prices.
Yeah. Let's pull them up. I'm seeing. Hold on. So yeah, I'm seeing similar. Bitcoin did find its bottom around 58,000. E found a little 29,000 or 2,900 bottom, but here we are. We had neutral. We had greed, I think, a few days ago.
It needs to
But
stay
look
neutral
at
for
Bitcoin.
longer.
Yeah, probably, yeah, because the price action is a little funny to me. So let's go dive in deeper into Bitcoin. Let me hit this coin market cap. 65,000 roughly Bitcoin. I do want to see some all-time highs. I definitely want to see that. That would put the whole market, I think, in a more happier mood. But I don't think people are impressed with this price action right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to here, share or show my screen here, I just click to share it. I can show one thing that I've been watching. Obviously, this is a lagging indicator, but still, I think if you look at this, this is all in the bull run. Pretty much from the bear market right here was the bear market bottom for Bitcoin. And all these vertical lines I've put are whenever the stochastic RSI has crossed, the blue line has crossed the orange line for a bullish. And every single time you've got these, even right here is another one I didn't really cover, but you've had a significant impulse to some extent of Bitcoin every single time. And obviously, the latest one happened there. We did have a run up, but it still got rejected around 72K. And now we've had this final, cross up, and it looks like this could be, the bigger move. And I'll also say, even when looking at this, you could draw and say we're in a descending broadening wedge pattern, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And usually the fifth wave is where you pop out, retest it, and then you're off to the races. So I would not be surprised, if we see something like this right here for Bitcoin. Now, at the same time, it's all just kind of speculation. Don't take anything I say here as financial advice. That would be my assumption. And I think when you look at certain other indicators, I think a realistic price target would be somewhere around 80 to 90K. I'm not thinking this would be a move to like 100K plus, but I do think we could get that violent move up in the coming months, and just in time for elections, right? You got Trump, who's in Nashville at the Bitcoin conference, just hyping it up. I think even Kamala Harris is potentially maybe softening her stance on being more
Yep.
pro crypto, I think, to try to gain some of those voters. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Bitcoin kind of rally into the elections. And even with the same, I think you could see the same thing happening for ETH. So this is the same, things, same vertical lines representing the same thing for Ethereum. And like I say, you just got that bullish cross. So there's a good chance that this little, fake out, fallout right now that we're seeing could just be a higher low that gets set before it does the same thing. And I'd even say it could be in a, bull flag, broadening wedge type thing, 1, 2, 3, 4 touch. And then this is, like I said, the fifth where you get that, breakout, retest, and then you're, shooting hopefully Ethereum to new all-time highs. Because that's the thing, Ethereum has not set new all-time
No.
highs like Bitcoin. Most things have not. I mean, Solana's come close. But that's really kind of where you're at. And like I said, even going back, we had the Ethereum ETFs. I think next, obviously, the person would go is like, okay, well, when are the Solana ETFs going to go
Yeah,
live?
Solana.
And I
Yep.
feel like the volume there would be even even less, way less. And maybe honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that marks a top. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Bitcoin rally and Ethereum rally into the elections. Then Solana's launching ETFs, and you just have this mania of alt season just going wild, and like people just thinking, oh my gosh, this is like this is the it. Wall Street's coming into crypto, and then that be honestly a top signal, for us to see a sizable correction. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I can agree with that, because if I see a Solana ETF come out this year, I think crypto already hit its top. Because what are we gonna do with a Solana ETF realistically, right?
Nothing.
Ethereum is like 6 times bigger. It's the OG. Bitcoin ETF has done well. They said Ethereum ETF did like over $1 billion in inflows, but
yeah, I think it was like 20,
I haven't seen much hype about it, honestly.
About what 20 to 30% of what pretty much what Bitcoin did on its first day launch. And that's the thing. It's like, who is really buying a lot of this stuff, especially when you can just buy Ethereum, right? You don't have to buy these ETFs. So that is it's always been an interesting thing to me.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, and then it's like, I'm thinking like, is my grandma or my older folks, are they buying this in their retirement now?
No.
I'm not quite sure. So Pulsum was a 12.7 billion equivalent of its time frame of Bitcoin. So not even close to what Bitcoin is doing. And again, if I had to choose between the two, I'm definitely would be more interested in Bitcoin, to be honest.
Yeah. And you have to, you kind of said it there, is your grandma or your parents buying into Ethereum? Think of it this way, just from a standpoint of from the news, right? What are the presidential candidates, which a lot of people older than us are watching CNN, they're watching Fox News, they're watching these things. What are they being told over and over that Trump or Kamala Harris is positive on? It's not Ethereum, it's not Solana. They're hearing Bitcoin. So the odds are, if they're going to buy anything, they're going to buy Bitcoin. And you could see Bitcoin as like a gateway drug, gateway crypto for the entire space. Maybe they get some exposure and they're like, you know what, I like Bitcoin. Now I'll try Ethereum and stuff like that. But I just don't think we're really to where mass adoption is going to come to everything else. Like I've just not seen. I've still, this entire bear market from the last bull, we talked about how like killer apps are coming, real world assets are coming, all these good things are coming. But like you really take you just take a step back and you look at the space. It's full of just fucking shit coins, meme coins, even the utility coins that are here. They don't have utility. You got devs out here and shit ton of tokens to investors behind communities' backs and then just rugging people. That's what crypto is. And all these influencers that are telling you to buy this, buy that, they're selling and dumping on people. So it's just really still, I think, a very harmful space nonetheless, even with the technical advancements.
I would say right now, it looks more like a casino than it's ever looked like, even like 2021, 2022. I feel like the excitement there was, okay, we got this new technology. We got all these things that are happening, but we're here in 2024, almost 2025, post all the excitement. And as you said, real world assets, we got things like Lofty and whatnot, but I feel like their narrative isn't about crypto. It's like, hey, here's a new way to pay for things and hold things. You don't really need crypto to participate. So I'm definitely feeling the vibe of all the kitten coins and the name coins is it making it look like a casino. And I don't know,
especially when you even look at like Solana's like pump.fun, right? If you've been on that thing, which I've seen, I was on there a little bit. It just like, I don't even know who in their right mind would trust that thing. Trust that if they've not been in the crypto space, right? If you're a crypto, expert, you might be willing to connect your wallet and dabble. But like the average person, like if that's the first thing you showed them, is like, hey, I want to get you in on this meme coin, go to pump.fun, and they see all the flashing lights and stuff, they're gonna be like, this is a legit scam. Like, what are you trying? You're trying to take my money. Like, I'm not connecting my credit card to this. Like, that's where I still feel like we are. And you even have Algorand doing its rug.ninja. Base has its little deployer thing. And I think a few weeks back, we even talked about like the reason why I think this cycle, it seems more scammy and just not that we've come actually very far is because back in 2021, I think the height of the biggest months, there was like 20,000 new tokens, right? Launched on like Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, and then obviously all the other various chains that could, you could launch things on. It was hard. Now it's 2 clicks. You create a token and, you can get it on Deck Screener and you can have people aping into it, bots, all that stuff. And we saw a couple weeks ago was like, half a million were created in 1 month. So you're just these kind of these rises, these ebb and flows come. It just, that's the reason why I also think you have tokens like Algorand, Cardano, and various other XRP that haven't seen anything like what a Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin have this bull run, because there's just so many tokens now, and that it's kind of spread the liquidity too much to actually even make a difference.
That's the point right there. When everyone was excited about Dogecoin in 2021, right? A big coin with billions of cap could go 5, 10x and whatnot. And you had the chain links and Uniswap, all of those things. We were all like, let's go. But now I feel like the addiction is to look for a coin that's like 500,000, 1 million market cap. So you can say, hey, I'm looking for this. And then that does spread liquidity out. And then I feel like the big institutions, the people who are savvy investors, that's going to make them go back to Bitcoin only.
Yeah.
At this point, the Bitcoin looks most solid out of everything.
Yeah, maybe that is what this cycle is going to show, is that, there's not going to be this big alt season that many people are expecting. And we are just going to see the top ones just continue to run really hot. And you'll still have those outliers, right? You'll still have those meme coins maybe that pop up and do billions worth. But it's just not going to be like what we saw last time. And I definitely think that's a huge possibility.
So let's talk about this real quick.
You want to take a quick ad break?
Oh, yep. Let's do that, and then we'll head over. Good call. Hold on. So ad break. Big shout out to our sponsors. You see them at the bottom. Brought to you by Non-Fungible Domains, Exit Market, and Gora. Welcome back. We here episode 114 talking about macro crypto news. But what I was going to pull up here is this video that John Woods posted, and it's about the Algorand commercial. They took an attempt to right here. And if y'all watched it, and if you rewatching this replay, let us know how you feel about it in the chat. But it looks like atomic swaps is what they're pushing. But there was a series of 8 of them, and some people kind of fused them together. It was kind of hard to see which one was which, but their attempt here, it looks like, is to show people that certain things can only be done using Algorand technology. I think that's very interesting. What's your thoughts on that?
My initial thought, it was funny because I'm pretty sure I don't even know. I think the first video I saw was the actual like 1 of 8, like part 1 of 8. But sometimes I feel like I kind of came in, I saw 1 of 8, and I saw like the 3 of 8, and then 5 of 8, and then I was seeing them out of order. So maybe I didn't get the full effect by seeing them how they rolled them out. The only thing that I thought it was just great. First of all, great video done to show something that is native on Algorand's layer 1 that you can do the technology wise that actually can't be done on many other chains. First off, I did think that's cool. It's a great way to push the tech of Algorand, because I've also seen many Algorand events, even Python level events where Algorand is getting a lot of attention from Python developers. So I think it's good that they're seeing those things. The only
Yep.
thing I thought maybe about it was kind of dumb was the whole like hot dog idea. Like I know they were kind of taking a stab because it was hot dog day. Like, so they were like,
Mhm.
that's the reason why they did it. But like, I mean, let's be honest. If someone who's, like I said, not in crypto sees that commercial, they're going to be like, what are you talking? Like, I've went and bought a hot dog every, say they go to work and they buy a hot dog once a week or twice a week. Like they've never had that issue of like, do I
Yeah.
get the hot dog first or do I give you money first? Like, I don't know. It
Yeah.
felt kind of
I had a
corny.
hot dog the other day.
Yeah, it felt kind of corny because no one's really running into that problem in the real world. Like I'm sure there are instances where maybe someone does just like straight up run off with your hot dog and not give you the money, but I don't know. That was just my initial thought. But obviously in the Web3 space, it's a huge deal, right? I mean, how do you set up a trade between two products and make sure, like, hey, I want that NFT, you want the ETH or the Bitcoin or whatever I have. How do we make sure that
Yeah.
actually happens and it's trustless? So it did showcase that, but outside of the crypto native who know the jargon of the space, how would they understand what the heck an atomic swap is? It didn't really do a great job of that.
When I saw it, I was like, bro just stole a hot dog. That was all. What's up, Algo Nice? What's up, Cloudy Vibes? But yeah, I thought he just stole the hot dog. I was like, man, give that lady her money.
See,
That's kind
and
of what
even
I'm looking at.
Algonice, the video should have shown how to use Algorand to purchase the hot dog. Like honestly, like even in that and saying, and just showing, boom, you could tap
Should have ended with
and
it.
and even behind the scenes, the atomic swap is happening, right? Technically, because the vendor is getting the money and then they can hand like it should have been like you tap and she's handing you a hot dog and then he pulls the hot dog away. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
Yeah.
whole
They could have also added the whole like and pay with your USDCA.
yeah.
That's what I would have did. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
So I
true,
think,
but
but
at the
yeah,
same time, it's hard. It's hard. How do you actually like, I've oftentimes wondered how do you market this space to people who are not in crypto? Because most people, when I talk to them about crypto, the first thing they say is either I hold it, which means they have some on Coinbase, or maybe in a wallet. Most of the time, it's
yeah.
just on Coinbase, or
Excuse me.
they're like, nah, it's a scam. Like I don't
So
play with I don't play with meme
this
coins.
is what got me when I was using crypto.com, right? So
Mhm.
crypto.com issued debit card. So essentially it's like if you don't have a physical debit card connected to an exchange that just it's basically it's got to act like a bank account. You
Yeah,
got your Coinbase with USDC in it, your crypto.com or USDC, a debit card is attached to that USDC. Boom. I think that's like the only way for like a country like the United States to really use it. Because I went and got my hot dog the other day, Frank's a lot. Shout out to Frank's a lot. It's a Chicago dog, so it was really good. But I just pulled out the credit card and tapped, and I didn't run off with the dog. They waited. They was smart. They
right.
waited to give me the dog after I paid.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah, and maybe I mean I feel like the only other thing is like maybe it could have been done in a whole lot fewer like videos. I don't know. I mean, but here's the thing: it's like we can nitpick on like, oh, they didn't do this or they didn't do that. Like at least they're trying, right? I mean, trying to get
They're
something out
trying.
there to show the edge that Algorand has against other chains. I still just think that like none of this is going to matter until it actually changes for better the average person's life. Like I even think like I've been in crypto for so long and I know about it. I feel like I know about as much as one should know to be able to like interact and do things, right? And I still can't even do like my wife couldn't even do her can't bring her business on chain. She can't because guess what? Not everybody who walks in to pay is going to be able to pay using crypto and using those rails.
No,
There's no good rails. There's no good rails to on ramp. There's no good debit cards to use. There's no good,
no.
like Square, Venmo type scanners and readers to be able to work with things like that on multiple various chains. Like until we get to that, I just don't see really mainstream crypto adoption taking place because the space is still so limited on how it can actually affect real world businesses. And that's why I even said like the whole ad just seemed like weird because it's like a person using a hot dog stand. If say they actually were someone using a hot dog stand and they saw that video, like why would they want to use Algorand? Like just to stop someone from stealing a hot dog, or making an awkward situation. It's like until we actually make people's like ordinary lives better in business, I don't really think we're going to see that mass move into the
And
space.
the real New York shooter went and grabbed that hot dog and got it back. um, So yeah, but I think the same way. Again, what this kind of brings me back was my original excitement was like, um, if it was about a country that doesn't have the same technology we have, it makes a
Mm,
lot of sense. But if
yeah,
we're in the United States, we're in Singapore, we're in Europe, some of these other places, even South Africa, somewhere, you don't need none of this.
no.
You don't need it at all. Excuse me. And it's
And
more
there's just so many more
speculative.
security risks with it.
Yep.
And the learning curve that it takes to actually do it. I mean, heck, I'm even at a spot now where I'm like, all right, you know what? I've kind of the past 6 months, I've been doing so much in the space. I probably need to go and get new wallets, right? I need to redo everything because you never know what you're connected to that might be,
Yeah.
that could be
Yeah.
malicious, or maybe you did
Malicious.
something.
Yep.
So it's like, you just, people don't have to worry about that as much in the real world. And I feel like we're still, like the bridge has not really been made yet on any chain, right? Ethereum is
Yeah.
still way too complicated. Bitcoin's still way too slow. Algorand is fast and usable, but no one knows about it, right? And even
Yeah.
Solana is fast, but try, have people having to deal with failed transactions. Like, I mean, geez, I literally
Yeah.
walked into the AT&T store today. I was just getting my phone fixed, and someone called, and they were trying to get their to know if they could get an upgrade. And the lady was like, I can't give you any of your information just over the phone. You got to come in. Immediately, that person was cussing her out and just like saying all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm like, imagine if, people had to deal with failed transactions. Like, grocery stores would be heated. Like, people would be like just mad all the time just because, stuff's not going through. But
Yeah. Some things weren't working with CrowdStrike.
yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
so that's one of those, and that thing right there. I was explaining this to somebody the other day, but CrowdStrike was centralized, and that's why it had that type of issue. So the only thing I could think of, it's like I figure Google's like this because they never have a problem, or Amazon Web Services. It's like a centralized, decentralized system where you just got enough nodes around the world in the country. If one goes down, I think CrowdStrike issue was they was in one place, that's what I'm figuring. But anyways, I don't know. But I see shout out to Pigo.algo. Shout out to y'all. Tangent Wallet. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, and that's pretty much there. I do want to talk about this real quick. So for the base heads, I do like what Coinbase been doing recently. They have their
Mr.
on-chain summer.
Miggles.
Yeah, Mr. Miggles, yeah. That was a good ad. They got the on-chain summer. Look like they bringing arcade games back. They're trying to make things fun. And I feel like, again, this is if you're a crypto native, you're going to enjoy all this. If you're not a crypto native, it's probably going to just, kind of fly by your head. But arcade games, summer passes, been getting kind of there's Mr. Miggles right there, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Mr. Miggles. So I do feel like all of this again is like, if you're in crypto, it's a way for you to stay engaged. And
Yeah.
then if you're not in crypto, you won't see it at all
Yeah.
unless
And
you
that's
just happen to be at some event.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I feel like the entire space is. It's like all these foundations and these,
Yeah.
centralized companies base, stuff like that. I feel like their entire goal is just like, all right, let's keep the people who are in the space here long enough so that we can actually get to the spot where mass adoption happens. Like that's, to me, like they're just like trying to entertain us with all these throwbacks and all these
It's
things to
entertainment.
do.
Yep.
Yeah, just to keep us around, because honestly, without it, most of these chains would be completely dead, because there's not really anything, like I said, there's not really anything to better someone's life being done on chain yet. And even like, when Coinbase started dropping the Mr. Miggle stuff, I was like, this is what we're going to do. Like y'all are really about to push another meme coin, another cat coin. Like why
Yeah.
are we still doing this shit? Like,
Yeah.
that's, to me, it's like, there's gotta be some better
Yeah.
stuff to push than, and it was so funny. And I know there was like a huge rift between people on base who liked the Mr. Miggles thing and people who didn't. My whole thing is like, the, like, just the accounts, right? And most of these people were paid, people who work for, you can go click on their profile and they literally would say like, this at Coinbase or this at Coinbase, and they work at Coinbase, and but all of them are saying like, this is the most money I've ever made on any project, Mr. Miggles. And I'm like, you have like, and then they get the big accounts. I mean, every large account of 100K plus, 200K plus, followers and subscribers and stuff out here shilling it. And I'm just like, this just reads scam all over it. Not saying it can't keep running and you couldn't. I mean, hell, I saw it at a 5 million market cap and faded it. I think it ran all the way up at least at one point to 100 million. So I could have made X amount, huge money on it. But to me, it's just like, why are we still?
That's a tough pump thing for me. I
Yeah,
couldn't even handle the
yeah.
emotions and behind that
Yeah, but
shit, to
like,
be
why are
honest.
we like, why is that still what we're focused on? Is just like trying to pump memes. Like, there's
Mhm.
got to be like, we have to get back to a spot of like, let's actually build cool
This
stuff.
is what I think. Like, kind of, let me see what Claudia was talking about by giving out algo to perform a task. Coinbase did mention that, right? I think about it. It's like Lord of the Rings right now. We need Sauron to come back, right, and make it one ring to rule them all. You know what I mean? And my dream would be if like if and it doesn't have to be just Algorand, it doesn't have to be. It needs to be Bitcoin needs to have Algorand's technology with Ethereum smart contract, and then you can eliminate everything else. But at this point, Bitcoin is the dog there because it's the most trusted now. It's the I think it being slow is a feature now because you can't even scam somebody. You got it's so secure you cannot scam somebody. Yeah, it's like you send it or you don't send it, right? And I feel like it's pretty much Bitcoin, Coinbase, and it's just missing the technology. Otherwise, I don't really know. You know, like Hassan Pay is using Algorand on the back end. I think that's great for the United States. We have Visa, so it's like kind of doesn't really matter which one we're using. But yeah, we need one chain to rule them all. And I don't know if it's gonna be any chain other than Bitcoin, and that's why I'm so interested in the base. And I think it was smart for them to not create a token.
Yeah. I mean, definitely think it was smart for them to not create a token and really just try to put the value in the things that are built on there. But yeah, what to kind of see, what happens. I feel like the last topic we could cover is kind of just the political thing, kind of say one ring to rule them all. It kind of feels like we're in a movie right now with everything that's happened politically. What are your thoughts on a lot of the political stuff outside, or we can cover Bitcoin's?
No, I just wanted to put up because they got some of the politicians there.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, that was it. I was just showing
Is
this.
Trump the only one there, or is there
So
other
we got
ones?
Trump, and it's supposed to be Ro Khan. He's a Democrat from California, and
Okay.
he's pushing crypto big time. He's having those meetups with not Mark Yusko,
Mark Cuban.
Scaramucci's there,
Oh,
Mark Cuban. Yeah, there we go. And then he's pulling some of the pro Bitcoin politicians. But let's talk about it. So I was listening to Jim Cramer, and I know. So he was like pretty much thinking like Kamala Harris would be good for business, right? And his point is that she's more pro business than Joe Biden. So as an investor, he like, let's go because she's gonna switch these regulations. She's gonna do things that's gonna make businesses in the United States make more money, which means the stock market is going
Go
up
wild.
higher for longer. And then we got Trump is saying, let's put tariffs at 100% on China. And if you look at any product that you buy, half of the United States products is China. Right. So if you do that, that causes prices to go up for the consumer. And then even Elon Musk, who's, potentially may or may not be supporting Trump, he only is about China with his Tesla. So that will eliminate what he got going on as well.
Yeah.
So if he was smart, I wouldn't even support that because but he's doing his DEI stuff. That's a whole nother conversation. So I'm seeing it like this. Pro US businesses is a good thing if you're an investor. If you're not an investor, you about to miss out on the rest of the run up for the next 5 years or so. So I'm just seeing it from that perspective. And then crypto, it looks like they're all just figuring out how to get some votes.
Yeah. And that's about it. Pretty much the way I see it too. I feel like we're one step closer to the movie Idiocracy instead of a democracy that we got.
Hogan.
Looking like Terry Crews from that movie.
Yes.
But it really does. I mean, we literally don't even know if Joe Biden's alive anymore, if there's a stunt double, performing for him, which also makes you wonder who the heck's been running the country for the past X amount of months if he's been in the as bad shape as he is. And then you got Trump, almost got assassinated, literally a turn of the head. That was crazy. A turn of the head away from literally probably civil war breaking out in the U.S. Like,
that would have been civil war.
Yeah. And so now both, obviously both sides are trying to jockey for who's going to be the most pro crypto, because I do think getting the legislation and getting the regulation right in the U.S. is the next step to actually seeing that next massive bull run and euphoria moment, right? Because once businesses and companies that are in the US know they can use crypto without having to worry about being sued by the SEC, well, then you don't have to worry about this indie group of people trying to create the next breaking technology, right? You have massive multi-billion dollar companies choosing to build on a blockchain. And I'm sorry, but they're going to build a better product, in my opinion, than most people who are working with a 2-3 team dev on a $50,000, that's the money they got from a grant. Let's just be honest. So like, I don't think we're going to see, I don't think we're going to see that next massive run in crypto until the big boys can actually build and take advantage of it. I think all we're seeing now from a political standpoint, even with these ETFs getting approved by the SEC finally, it's just laying the groundwork where they can start to put it on their balance sheet. They can start to hold these assets in a legit way so that they can then take advantage of it once they're ready to hop into the space, choose a chain that's going to go forward, and then keep pumping. So that's ultimately what I see. I definitely think that coming to as the elections get closer, I think we're going to see a decent run in the stock market, crypto markets, and everything else. I'm just nervous of what happens after, because I know, like, the market's been pretty much up and to the right since 2012 for the most part, outside of COVID and a small, few other small bumps. Obviously not looking at crypto, looking at the main stock market, but I don't know. It just seems like the next big, downfall is going to be a hard pill to swallow, nonetheless. Especially with just what our government's doing. Like they've just thrown, reducing the debt out the window. It's just turn the fucking printer on and just print more and more and more and more.
Yeah, the last time I checked, it was 34 trillion.
Yeah, and it's like we're
I can't
adding,
even count
we're
that
adding
up
billions every day. I don't even know at this point.
Yeah, let me see before we get out of here. What was it? It's 34 trillion, I think, still. And it looks like it's only about to go higher. And you're right, what you said is that no one's even talking about it going down.
No, at this point, it's and that's the thing. The Fed, that's the reason why people talk about rate cuts and rate this, rate that. It don't matter. We're on a collision course with the iceberg. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you slow down a bit or you speed up. It's still gonna suck.
It's over. Yeah. So we had all-time highs on debt. So this is why, like, we can close out here too. This is why I think their only option is to make the market go up higher.
I mean, yeah, you literally just gotta.
Yeah, because
they're like putting band-aids.
Yeah, because if you think about, you got Amazons, you got all those type of companies. Anytime you go good, like Meta, Amazon, one of those big dogs are coming to buy you. Yeah. And if you're a CEO founder somewhere and Amazon's like, hey, I got 5 billion, your company worth 1 billion, you're selling. Then just like Instagram is owned by Facebook or Meta. So I think that's just going to keep happening. And then, like you said, the devs with 50,000, much love to them. But
you're going to be replaced.
Yeah, because you got then Amazon's warehouse, half of them are robots, right?
Yeah.
They got this startup out of Oregon, it's Salem, Oregon, I think. And they got robots for like 10,000, right? 20,000, 30,000. And then I was watching a long story about all this, these new robots that are coming in. And then so these robots can basically, it's like an app store. She was like, you just you hit a couple buttons and they can, if it's like the robot need to pick up boxes, you just download the box picking up app. You need to drive cars, you put the driving car app into it. And I'm like, this is an app store, right? With robots. Insane. And she said over the time it's going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And then what does that mean? The stock market, people are gonna be like, oh man, the not the AI revolution, we're in this one right now. The robot revolution is the next investment vehicle. So,
and the thing that'll cause the debt to go crazy from there is when UBI gets installed and everybody's just getting money sent to their bank accounts on a ledger, on a blockchain system, and like, hey, you just got to go spend it at Walmart. If you don't spend it in 2 weeks, we're pulling it back.
Yeah, we're gonna have Hassab pay over here
at Amazon, or you guys spend it. It's your own. You're gonna be Maybe we won't get to that totalitarian, or however you say that type of world.
Totalitarian.
Yeah, whatever it is. But needless to say, let's hope we don't see that.
Yeah. So let's pray that don't happen. But be ready to invest in the future of robotics. Right. That's it. We will talk to y'all probably next week. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend, and till the next time, y'all.
Peace.